We'll be live in a minute.
I'll bring up YouTube head. Fucking knob I am.
Or do I need to see pictures? Should I have YouTube open as well?
It helps with chat, to be honest.
It helps a little bit, yeah. But I have put in the messenger, the crew chat, the mod showcase pictures.
That is clever.
Yeah,
now we don't have a delay.
We do have a delay.
I'm going to bring YouTube open.
So let's just wait and see until they can hear our voices.
Hear our dulcet twangs. Who's there? Scotty Bogfoot's there, all the way from Canada.
Yep, Jibby's there. Patrick.
Yeah. Andy.
James Hall, the one and only.
The one and only Jibby Jeffs.
Not to forget Gareth Martin from this equation either.
Oh,
forget him.
Oh, and the onomatopoeia of Patrick Pyle.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Auntie Ali's on there.
Gareth's in the house.
Why can't they fucking hear us?
Don't know. Do not know.
Because they're not fucking listening.
They're probably just chatting amongst themselves.
They just hit the chat. They're not bothering to watch. I can't blame them, really.
They can
They've
stare
actually
at
got the
Brett
show on
then.
mute.
Might as well just have a chat room instead of a show, really. Just leave it
Stare at
open.
Brett, we'll do a podcast.
Yeah.
That's a good bit of bread you got there.
Mick Blizzard said twanging away fine, and I said twanging, so that means they can hear us.
Oh god, that means something different around here. Unspeakable things.
Yes, but that doesn't
means he's in the bushes rubbing one out.
Oh, they can hear me. Oh, we got Mr. Posty's in there. Look, there he is.
Yeah.
Hey.
All right. Well, shall I roll intro then?
Yeah, go for it. We're making Posty moist. You can use that to seal on shows. That's what they do out there.
What? Make it moist.
They use that moistness to seal them.
Welcome. We are live once again Thursday evening. The new Ohm Show, Chapter 21, Pickled Rick Part 3. And what a show we've got for you tonight. Now, oftentimes we say it's jam-packed and there's nothing. We're just making it all up. It is literally jam-packed tonight, I promise. It really is a jam-packed show. So that is a thing. Welcome to everyone in chat. Don't forget to switch it to live chat. Don't forget to smash that thumb up button or thumb down. Either's fine if you want to. Either's
be
fine, but it counts for YouTube statistics either way. So yeah, thumb up and live chat so you don't miss anything. And welcome to everyone in chat. So Rick is with us, modmaker.co.uk.
I do.
Modmaker extraordinaire.
Not bad about that.
Etc. Too many skills to mention. And we've got John as well, who's here. He peddles juice. And Brad, who's got a proper job. Okay,
well,
so
that's up for debate.
yeah, so that's the thing. Right, let's crack on. Brad.
Hello, darling.
What are you drinking? What are you vaping? Good sir.
I have run out of beer.
No.
So
Lemonade.
I'm drinking gin and tonic.
Oh, lovely.
So
A steiner of bit of gin and tonic.
Exactly. We're not fucking around. The last thing I want to do is this show sober. Jesus, can you imagine?
It's not good. I tried it. You still get a hangover. It's weird. It is like muscle memory. You get a hangover.
Less calorific.
Old Faithful with the Dwarf MTL, a modmaker whistle tip, and in here I went digging in my cupboard, in the deepest, darkest regions of my cupboard. I found the dregs, and you can see what I mean by dregs.
There's a week's worth there for you, isn't it?
I reckon there's one more tank left of elderflower and apple.
Jeffries.
Ooh, it's so
You're gonna be halfway through the tank. It's gonna make that.
That noise.
We've all been there.
It was the nicest surprise ever, finding this in the bottom of the drawer. I am currently enjoying that from that man over there,
Yeah.
Mr. John. You've got more, you sneaky bastard.
I've got a 12 milligram mix here. I've got half a bottle of that.
You know that's worth more than its weight in gold now.
How much will you give me for it?
It's a collector's item.
It's a
You want
collector's
hand
item.
job?
It's limited edition. It's discontinued.
I have to keep it. Vintage. I'll lay it down.
Yeah, use that very sparingly.
Just put it up for auction on eBay.
John, darling,
Yes, mate.
what you drinking? What you vaping?
I am drinking a Common Grounds coffee porter with chocolate and vanilla.
Ooh.
From Magic Rock. I would admit it's not my favourite, because I don't really like the touch of coffee. I like coffee. I don't like.
It's nice to have a porter now and again, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
You don't want to knock out on the stuff, but
No, yeah. And the rest I've got Magic Rocks. What have I got? I've got some. Let me just have a quick check. I was saying to Bradley before we began. I think their grapefruit, their high wire grapefruit, is better than Elvis juice. Sorry.
You like it? It's
I
controversial,
agree.
but I
I
like
agree.
it.
And Cannonball Indian Pale Ale, which is just a fucking classic beer from them. 7.4% though, but it's a very good IPA, and it doesn't feel really boozy, even though it's 7.5%, which is nice. I do like Magic Rock. I think Richard's already blessed them on the show. They are very, very good. And in my they're good books, I would say.
They're one of the very few where the can design is good and the beer is good.
Oh yeah, agree.
Yeah, it's almost a curse sometimes when it's a nice looking
Yeah,
can.
they've broken the rule.
Well, it's like folk disco forklift. Forklift. That is a good can, and it's a good mango IPA, but there are better. It's fine. It's fine to not be the best. It's nice. It's not the best. It's hard playing with that mango. You've got to make it there, but not too far. It's terrible.
Yeah, mango and beer is not for me.
See, I don't mind it on a summer's day. Oh, it's better than lager. But anyway, that's what I'm drinking. I have got lemon crack in the 16 Dwa on top of the thing, the Aegis X. And I have got Crack Kind in the 22 Dwa on top of the Innokin. What the fuck is that one called? Oh, Proton Mini. They are the two things I've got.
Does that mean that lemon crack's back in stock?
It will be very shortly. I didn't know it was bank holiday tomorrow, by the way, until
It's really messed everyone up, hasn't it?
I came home from the post office and said to my wife, the postman's daughter had run out and grabbed my post while I was in the queue, and she said, "My dad said don't forget that we're closed tomorrow." And I said, "Oh no," she said, "Oh, my dad said that we're closed tomorrow and we're open on Monday." And I said, "Oh, okay, fine, yeah." And I got home and I said to the wife, I said, "Oh, post office is closed tomorrow. Good for them. They've worked their asses off through this. Good, they're taking a bit of time for themselves." And she went, "It's bank holiday." And they went, "What is it?" I said, "Tomorrow." And I said, "It's
VE
Friday."
day, innit? VE day.
Yeah, you've got a thing, isn't there? There's a thing on Facebook. You've got to make your house look like you're in the BNP. Tomorrow. There'll be a load of BNP sports.
Oh yeah, I'll
fake
just run out to the Union Jack shop and
cover the house. Yours is still open, obviously. Mine is essential, isn't it? Yeah. Anyway, sorry, Rick. What are you vaping? What are you drinking?
Oh, Rick's got no audio.
Rick says he's been muted.
Oh, he has been muted.
I'll unmute him. Oh, it's not letting me unmute him.
Have you muted yourself?
Oh, come in and come. Oh, there we go. There we go.
Hey!
Speak, Rick.
Am I there?
Yeah, you're back.
Oh, don't stress me out.
Oh dear. I did send you a message saying you muted me. It wouldn't let me unmute.
Oh, good point. Yeah,
He's telling the truth.
Yeah, it's really weird. It's really weird.
Yeah, how's it going in? All good?
Yeah. I didn't even know it. I just thought you were just enjoying yourself.
What are you drinking? What are you vaping, Rick?
I am drinking usual. I'm opposite. I used to be different with my IPAs. I used to like you, John, are now I used to be. I used to like a strong IPA that didn't taste strong.
Yeah, I like that.
Now I prefer a weaker beer that tastes strong.
Oh, okay. I get
Because
that.
I can't handle my booze anymore, so I just generally stick with Dead Pony Club Brewdog.
Yeah, I love Dead
It's
Pony.
a session.
Session, what's that? 3.9.
3.8. This one.
3.8. Yeah, it's not bad, is it?
Yeah, it's all right. You can have plenty of them, and you don't
No,
weigh you
true.
in. Don't weigh you in. It's all good. So I'm drinking that tonight, and I'm vaping on 64 Reserve from Deep Rooted, Wes and Tony's tobacco-y sweet juice.
Nice.
K-Fun 2019.
It's a lovely setup.
Lovely setup, that, mate.
And that Yeehee Q class. Is it Q class? No.
Yeah.
Never remember what they are now.
They go
SL?
together.
Is it?
I don't know. That's a reach.
It's all right, though. It's all right. So I've got that in the K-Fun at 20 watts, rocking 20 watts with that. And my standard mechanical skonker with a Haku Cruiser on top with whistle drip tip.
Oh, lovely, lovely.
Beautiful.
And that's got my blackcurrant in it, standard.
Voodoo Brew.
No, I don't actually vape the Voodoo Brew anymore. I'm actually just pretty much just blackcurrant most of the time now. I don't know, I just like it. Got my blackcurrant mix that I make. Don't need anything else really. You know, it goes all these years in. If you find your groove, don't you? And you stick with what you know. It's not broken.
100%.
Don't fix
100%.
it. So I've got some Voodoo Brew for you if you want it, Richard. I've got about half a litre of it there.
Yep. Yep.
If you want it, that is.
Yep. Yeah, I love that stuff. That should be available at Just Add Nick, that stuff. Anyway.
That's
that
what
you?
That's what I'm drinking.
Superb. I am starting with a cheeky Danish Pilsner.
Oh.
Probably,
I haven't put it
probably
on.
really good, is it?
Oh, it's a lovely drop.
Gassy.
It's by appointment to the Royal Danish Court, you know.
Whoa. Now we're talking. Sorry.
That's what that
I
means.
spoke too soon.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Good shit.
What you're saying is even the Royals don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah.
They must have been bitterly disappointed.
I
when
think-
they got on
Think of
doorstep.
the tax money it's generated. Yeah, I haven't put this on the beer thread yet, but I'll let my thoughts be known on there. Speaking of the beer thread, there's been a bit of confusion. It's really important you put the name of the beer on there, not just the picture, because it's purely personal. But I want to be able to search a beer. If I have a beer, I want to literally be able to search in our little Facebook search thing, and it'll say if someone's had it, and I can say, "Oh, you're wrong. It's crap."
And stick the score on.
What's that? Didn't you have that? Did you have that app? Was that,
Yeah.
what was that beer app that you have a beer and you take a picture and you choose? That was quite good.
I can't remember.
Yeah, Advocate.
What was it called?
Beer Advocate, yeah. I got tired of that, but this is a
Was
nicer
it? It
way
wasn't.
of
It was
doing
called Tap something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
There was
some-
another one called Untapped.
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 That's
Untapped
it.
was popular in the group for a while.
Yeah, I had that for a while.
After I finished that little warm-up Carlsberg, I'm going to have an Anarchy Brew Blonde Star. And that's a cheeky blonde. And after that,
Lucky blonde.
yeah, I love cheeky blonde. And after that, I'm going to have a Soundwave Siren.
You've gone
Must
quite
say.
wild with your selection there.
Yeah, thanks to Colin Alvin.
I was going to say my beers tonight are sponsored by Colin as well, who
Yeah.
bought Richard and I some beers, which was fucking awesome.
Nice.
Random, but very nice. So those are those. Thank you very much, Colin. Speaking of which, everyone's saying Untapped in chat. Good to see everyone in chat. Craig, Jibby, Barry, Dean, Matt, Sasa, TVP's in there, Matt Fox, Derry, Ali, Mick Blizzard, everyone's in there. So it's good to see, good times. Vaping on. Okay, vaping on a few stuff. I'm vaping on the new Dead Rabbit SE. I got this week. That's
What's
this
SE stand for?
special edition.
Oh, that was always a good atty, actually.
They're very, very good at it, and
It was comparable to the Goon, I'd say. It
very much,
possibly even as much more flavour. You know?
very, very much. I've always really liked the Dead Rabbit RDA, and this has kind of reminded me that basically it's.
Oh, Rick's muted again. Oh, he did it on purpose.
All
It's
right.
because he's doing a battery.
Basically, the deck's the same, but you now get the deck and several caps, 4 different caps.
Yeah, I remember you featuring it the other week.
Yes, so I'm going to talk about that a little bit later, actually.
Now you need to turn Rich. Now you need to turn Rick back.
I don't get that. I don't. Cause
He muted himself.
yeah, but I've specifically said don't allow people to just do it as they want.
Okay.
But
You're
anyway,
back, Rick.
Yeah.
you're back. So I will talk about that a bit later.
Okay.
In there, I've got pistache.
Oh,
I'm vaping on something I'm not allowed to show apparently, but I'm going to occasionally do that. I
looks
don't
nice,
know why
then.
I'm not allowed to show you, but there's a delay on it.
you're not allowed to show us the mod, are you?
Yeah, exactly.
Are you allowed to show us what's on the top?
No, because it's
Oh, okay.
intrinsic.
Oh, okay, cool.
I don't know why. It's a weird one. So there is that, and then also with Jeffrey's bread and butter pudding, I've got the Poison RDA on the clutch.
You
Can't
got
get.
those clutches.
Yeah, they're nice little things. It's pure mech, hybrid connection, all that. But yes, I like it. It's very nice. The Poison RDA, I can't get away from. There's something about it just fits my vaping style. It's not good looking RDA or anything like that, but it just vapes great. So it ends up staying in rotation, So there is that as well. And I've got some other bits and bats I'm going to show when we do the new stuff and all that sort of stuff. But that is everything. Let's slide into the news, John. You want to, just for a change, you want to talk about Juul?
Who are we talking about? Juul. Is that what I'm doing first? That's not what you've put in the script
VIA.
you sent me.
Do UK VIA then.
Okay, we'll do that. This was the Planet of the Vapes newsletter today. Well, it's worth. I'm going to roll one into another, actually, because that's fine. I will actually use their name. I don't like the UK VIA, whatever anybody says, but I'm going to talk about them briefly. Public Health England released its evidence update on vaping a month ago, providing a warning that misinformation is causing a problem and preventing smokers from switching to vaping. The UK Vaping Industry Association, UK VIA, commonly known as Big Tobacco, we fucking love you, has amplified the call for honesty when discussing, but they put that wrong. Tobacco harm reduction. So what they're saying is that the evidence was released over a month ago now. That people should. Every indication from a scientific point of view is that you should switch to vaping because it is harm reduction and it's much safer. They've said this. They've also said that if you don't smoke already, don't start vaping, which is quite new. One of the quotes is, "E-cigarettes are much less harmful than tobacco, but not completely safe," wrote the PHE. They contain significantly less harmful chemicals which cause diseases related to smoking. But the long-term impact of using e-cigarettes will remain unknown for some time. That's totally true.
How long will it not be unknown for? I mean, we've been going a good decade now.
They're saying this year, when that argument starts becoming invalid, over the next 12.
No one's really died of vaping, I don't think, in a decade.
No one ever has.
Yeah, in over a decade.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is losing its traction. But the UK VIA has called for that information to be used. Adding to that, we'll add to that.
Shout out to Planet of the Vapes as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Do a great job.
Fantastic.
Do a great job, those guys.
Been doing for years. The UK VIA will easily fill a gap that the IBVTA have left. They are still yet to post. The last time they posted on their Facebook page was the 5th of April. I'd be annoyed if I was paying their fees. They're meant to be a trade association, and we're now a month and 2 days part them speaking. You should really be doing
Do they definitely have full-time employees?
They're there. They're getting. Well, they can work from home, surely.
Are they full-time now?
Yes, they have full. They do have at least 3 full-time employees at minimum. That's so I can say for a definite there's 3. There could be 20, but I can tell you for definite.
And none of them can even log in and say hi.
I think it's really bad. If people are paying, unless you don't have to pay your fees at the moment, which I don't think is true. So I think people are paying their monthly dues.
They have a helpline, though, don't they?
Yeah.
Maybe their helpline is so overwhelmed that they're
Then
just
tell
doing
us
that
what
all
they're
the
doing
time.
with their helpline.
No, I agree. I agree. I'm just speculating.
So many unions, not just within vaping, but obviously have been fucking silent throughout this. Unison. Sorry, it's a cough I've got. Lots of trade associations and people who are supposed to defend your rights have decided to take a month off, which I think is great.
I don't think maybe at the moment doesn't really matter about your rights because no one's doing anything about anything anyway.
You just need to keep talking though. But you just need to keep talking. That's them's the rules. If you want your union fees, you got to keep talking. If you want your trade association fees, you got to keep talking.
Not making any public comment while vape shops are shutting down left, right, and centre. There's been several vape shops saying, we're not going to be reopening when the lockdown.
Well, they moved the furniture out of prohibition vapes.
They're not. I mean, they're not Unison. 200 of their members aren't dead, so they're not that bad, but they're pretty bad.
Yeah, that's as polite a nudge as we can.
Do
give
something.
Them. You were going to talk about Juul. You really were.
I am going to talk about Juul.
Go on, talk about Juul.
I don't think it's a bad thing, actually. This is from Politico. I'll give you the headline, and then I'm going to riff. Juul donated to New Jersey politicians even as they considered vaping restrictions. This is the news story. That's when they were considering vaping restrictions, one of them being 20 milligram upper limit on state. This is state legislation. New Jersey's not a state. City legislation, I assume. To ban anything over 20 milligram. They gave a contribution to the Republican governor, but they did also give a donation to the Democrat. The Democrat governor, and they gave one to the Republicans as well. What they're doing is exactly what Big T have been doing for a long.
And did it work?
They didn't get the 20 milligram cap. He said he wasn't swayed at all.
Well, what was the money for then?
Just for stuff, thing.
Yeah,
They can't actually say it's for that.
Like you said, same as big tobacco. Donate no matter what. That way you buy long-term favour with them.
$50,350 was donated to Democratic Governors Association in August and September. It's pretty good.
It's just the way it works over there, isn't it?
Yeah, they came up with a statement.
Over here, we'd go nuts. It'd be
you go mad. That's
corruption.
So wrong that money has any sway in a rule of law.
But this is the way it's always worked.
It's kind of just that 100% capitalism model, isn't it?
Yeah, and they're allowed denial. They haven't. They broke no rules.
No, it's published every April. All the books are published, aren't they?
Yeah.
They get the money is incredible. Like the Senate, the guys that sit in the Senate and the Standard House, they're millions and millions they're getting from the gun. What is it? The Rifle Association. NRA. Millions. All of them. Each of them are getting millions and millions and millions. Their salary is humongous. All in donations.
In their declaration, they also had spent $186,000 lobbying in New Jersey. Disclosures show it hired 2 firms, Capital Impact Group and MBI Gluckshaw, paying them $70,000 each and spending the rest on an in-house lobbyist. So but they've declared they did that. And the recipient has declared the donation. So, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
No, it's-
bullshit.
it's,
but they do. We spoke about this before. You might as well do it because the Big T are doing it back.
Yeah.
It's how it works. It's literally like they're just playing the game. You know,
It's the
that's
only way they can approach winning the game is to play it.
Yeah. In England, in Britain, we have a different way of doing it. You have to start a trade association, called it the UK VIA, and then have Big T across the board.
the trouble with Juul is their stance on a lot of things isn't the same as, say, an Aspire or a Watofa. Or their agenda is as harmful to vaping sometimes as
Absolutely.
Yeah. Their
Like,
agenda
they're-
is company
like, they
agenda,
have-
not.
they've lobbied UK government for a flavour ban. A vaping company has lobbied UK Parliament for a flavour ban.
Yeah.
That's how their minds work. So it's not great news or anything, but it's just how the game works.
Yeah, and when you look at what people are saying is different trade associations, vaping trade associations have
Allegedly. What I said.
allegedly. Oh, your bit. Okay. Mine's not alleged because it's on camera. Have lobbied the government to add heat not burn to the vaping. So vaping as a vaping device. Luckily, they said no, fuck off. But
They got you can knock British politics as much as you like, and we all like to do it, but there's some common sense in there.
Yeah.
It doesn't get bought
who
without
was
real
the-
scandal, does it? You know.
who was
No.
the NR? Who was what they called? Thank you. I'm trying to remember when they did it.
Oh, that fucking
Speech. Dave Dahl.
yeah,
What were they called?
David Dahl.
Anyway, they were up for snus and all sorts of fucking stuff and weed and everything. It didn't help at all. It's a fucking bad idea. Don't cross the streams, you.
Oh, you wanted to mention Voke.
Boke. It's come back up again. The bad penny that will not fuck off since
I
2000.
saw an advert for it the other day, actually, as well.
Incredible. Doesn't work. It's a total bag of shit. So you might see a Voke advert pop up on. I think somebody caught one and sent it to me. I think it was on Facebook. Or I mentioned it on Facebook. I know Google had pushed it to the top for some reason. Voke. Oh yeah, I've got a competition as well. You can win any cannoli kit in a second. I'll start a thread on the group. You have to be a member of the Facebook group. That is the new Ohm Show Facebook group. I'll start a thread and then you can play along.
NNA, there you go.
NNA, well done. So Voke is it was initially thought of in 2010. They got a medical license from 2010 to 2017. That has been redone. Whatever the fucking word is. But what it is essentially is an aerosol. There's a little can inside. It's like an inhaler, and it's full of nicotine and PG and an accelerant. And then you get a thing that looks like a cigarette that goes in the side, and you can recharge this thing that looks like a cigarette. It's just a small aerosol, and you can take drugs from it. Voke was initially backed by BAT, British American Tobacco. They pulled out when they realised they were trying to get it a medical license, and they were trying to get it not a medical license. They were trying to get it
Pharmaceutical approved, wasn't it?
pharmaceutical approved. Yes, and they were going to get it. They really wanted to try and get it on prescription. Was what the makers wanted to do. And as soon as BAT realised they were going to do that, BAT basically went fuck off and pulled out as fast as they could. Which they did. It's now got a few people on the board. Not Levinson. Who's the Lord? He was made a Lord by Tony Blair, who used to be a chairman for Tesco. Anyway, he works for them as well. Anyway, the Voke it's a Nicorette inhaler. It's exactly the same thing, but slightly it's exactly the same ingredients. Doesn't do anything different. It's coming up. Oddly though, they've got, by our measurement, the cartridges are 45 milligram. You think, okay, it's all right for some.
It's not classed as a vape, though, is it?
No, still
It's like one of those old
Inhaler.
Nicorette inhalers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
used to
yeah.
do it, didn't they? Yeah.
but you can get it on prescription. But the chance of your doctor doing it is slim to none. They won't. I don't think they've even done it. It is. They won't get a prescription for it.
Does it discharge into a medium that you then breathe through, or does it
No,
literally
you-
aerosol straight into you?
You pull, or the action of you inhaling, like a one-way valve, releases
Okay.
the aerosol inside the cigarette.
It's
thing.
like a tube, Brad, I think, and it fills it up, probably
Yeah.
pressurized.
That is what it is. Yeah,
It's basically like sucking on your lighter.
effectively, but with a light valve almost.
Yeah.
Suck it, pull it through. So yeah, it's being pushed again. They've got a new sort of advertising campaign. It's running the top of Google. If you type in vapes, you're going to get vape does come up.
I'm not really against this, you know.
I'm not. It's a piece of shit.
But if it mimics a cigarette more with the valve and the inhale, it can help someone who wants to give up smoking. can't
Against nicotine, yeah, but it's nicotine replacement therapy. It's an NRT, so it's still going to have. You still can't escape that it's got. There's a 5% chance of it working, even if you wish to give up smoking. They are the NRT figures, so there's a 1 in 20 chance it'll work. And that's against vaping. It's ineffective. It's something like 56%. We're not 100%. It'd be ridiculous to say we were, but there's just over 50, about 56%. If you want to quit smoking and you begin vaping, your chances of quitting are 56%. So 10 times that of NRT.
I don't know. I mean, it might be higher. This Voke, if it really does mimic a cigarette draw
It is 8 years old.
and feels like it is, yeah, but no one has heard of it, have they?
No.
It's not been out there or advertised like Nicorette has.
They've tried. They have tried lots of different ways.
They have tried that. There's not many success stories out there of people that have quit with it, just like patches, just like all these things. So
The reviews are on YouTube to watch as well. But anyway, it's being pushed again. I'm going to do a competition off the back of Voke, though, because they got such a fucking awful new catch line. And it made me laugh. Their new catch line is, every Voke is one less smoke. And I thought of a new catch line. You have to think of, it can be a catch line for anything. And I thought I'd got a catch line for prison, which is, every wank is one less shank. Which I quite liked. So we need a rhyming couplet. So I'm going to put rhyming couplet. I'm just going to call it because you have to be watching. So I'm going to put rhyming.
sort of like once you pop, you can't stop.
Perfect.
Oh,
But the more weird it is, the better. I'm going to just call the thread rhyming couplet. Funniest one by the end of the weekend. Wins a.
Once you Juul, you're a
Can only
complete
be whatever. Can only be whichever one you want, Kit, in any strength from just UK. I've just called it rhyming.
Wrap your tool or get used to driving kids to school.
Juul.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Anything like that. Yes. That's the news.
Looking for a rhyming couplet slogan.
Yes,
on
rhyming
Facebook.
couplet.
'Cause we're not
Yeah,
allowed
so
to
as soon as
not allowed to do a
somebody,
competition on here.
I always like to think of it as like a meeting around a table when someone goes, Jeff's got something. Jeff, what was he going to say? I was just going to say, every Vogue is one less smoke. Right. This is why we don't let you talk at meetings, isn't it, Jeff? Yeah. Okay. Fuck off. That's fucking awful.
Right. Very good. Very
Go.
good indeed. Okay. Right. We've got some new stuff. We've got some new stuff. I'm going to go straight into some pictures of new stuff, and you guys will just have to nod along.
That's all right.
I'll nod along in slow motion. So the first thing, this is the new Lost Vape mod. This is the Centaurus DNA 250C mod. There's a range of colours and styles and patterns of leather and resin and all these things. They're good. They have historically been great mods, these Lost Vape mods.
Is this not what you showed us the other day in chat?
Yes, but it's real now. There's actual physical ones out.
Yes, no.
One pictured is Crocodile Stabwood.
That is bastard ugly.
Yes, but there's some nice ones as well.
Yeah. That one is
Have
fucking
they
horrible.
just re-wrapped the
How are you seeing
old Therion?
Oh, watching it on YouTube, mate.
So yeah, but they tend to be really good mods. Find a colour you like, and
Definitely.
if you're still a dual battery person, then this could be This will be good. So I think there's a couple of the patterns and styles that I think look quite good, and it'll probably be a good mod. Probably be a good
That's
mod.
awful looking in it. Look at it.
That's not a great one. That with the that's the first one that has a proper real
It
product
looks
shot.
like
That's
your
not like a
wife's
render.
handbag lost a fist fight with your stabilized mod.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
But you're right. If you got the right combo, and it is a good mod.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
there's
If
a
it matches
carbon
the
fibery one that
belt.
looks quite nice. So there we go. So that is that. This was something we mentioned last week, but we didn't have any proper pictures, just renders. This is a proper picture now, officially, of the Cube Pod. The Cube Pod from OBS. Now, a lot of people are fans of the Cube, and OBS do historically make good stock cars. So maybe if you are a pod person, the Cube Pod might be the one. Might be the one. What's this one? I've forgotten. Let me double check. This is the eLeaf Trance. We've been mentioning that eLeaf have been incredibly quiet through this lockdown. This is their first. This is their first comeback. Their first product. Another pod that looks just like all their rest. So an interesting move from
They're
them.
just sticking new names on old pods at this point.
Yes, I don't know what's going on there. And maybe the sales is tremendous. I don't know. So that's the thing. We now have a proper picture of this as well. Now we're still not sure if this has a name, but this is the new Cthulhu mod. I think it's going to be called the Elegant, or something like that.
I prefer elegant.
Well, it's going to be written elegant.
It's Cthulhu, so you know they're going to spell it wrong.
I like it.
Yeah. And I think it looks nice. I think it looks nice. If you're still a single 18650 regulated type person, I think it's pretty though.
Is there any shots of it in? Oh, okay. Well, I didn't see. So
I like the look of that. Actually, I like that.
I like it. It's kind of like Zen-ish.
Yeah, it's like Zen, but not wank. Because Zen had got that step, which was.
I know. I like it. Cthulhu this last sort of 12 months, they clearly are very inspired by the high end.
At least that will not fall over all the time. The Zen was famous for falling over all the fucking time.
Yeah.
Because it was heavy on one side.
Absolutely. So I don't know.
I'd have that.
The pictures are dripping in from like one a week or something like that. But this is the first proper picture. Yeah,
have you got an RRP on that?
It won't be expensive at all. It's their own board, so it'll be like 50 quid, 40 quid.
Okay, I don't mind that. I think I'd give that a go. Nice out and about mod, and you could drop it and it'd take it.
I do want to see it in the hand, or I want someone to get it in the hand, because I'm just worried about the plastic bit being too plasticky.
People are saying it looks very similar to a jack, but yeah, it does.
Yes, it does a bit.
But I think it is. I think it's obviously to me. It's
Got a bit more style to it.
Yeah.
Is that black bit not molded Delrin?
Is it bollocks?
I don't know. I genuinely don't know. That's my concern, because the pictures have been coming out so sparsely. I'm not actually sure what that bit is.
If it's a chunky bit of plastic and it's secured properly, it won't break.
And it's not a big mod. The pictures make it look quite big. But if you think that's quite a long tank with the
I don't think it's that big, no.
No, so I don't think it's as big as it looks in some of the pictures they've released. So that's a thing. This is the other pod mod, dual battery pod mod we mentioned last week, I think.
Pod mod.
This is the artery one. These are proper pictures now.
Starting to sound like an STI, isn't it?
This is the Artery Nugget GT, and it's a 200-watt
Artery Nugget
system.
could be an STI as well.
And
pod mod.
They've made it very clear it is coming with
a
an
pile,
RDA.
isn't it?
Yeah. Got an Artery Nugget.
You sat funny, Jeff. Have you got pod mod?
No, Artery Nugget.
I'm not sure. Again, like I said before, I'm not sure what this is for. It clearly comes with a 510 adapter, which is nice, and it comes with an RBA thing, which is nice.
Imagine how big that is. Like, that's big. Like, in the picture at the top, when they're out of scale, it looks fine, but that's big.
Yeah,
it's a mod. Big. It's not a pod.
When does a pod become a mod?
We kind of talked about this last week. We touched on it.
Yeah, well, this is when you put that 510 on, it becomes a mod.
Yeah.
Why would you want a pod if you got An atomizer
mod.
on a mod.
I still don't understand how they're going to do this for the TPD, because it's 8 mil capacity. Are they
You
literally
have to
gonna,
be like nearly flush to 2 mil. It's just going to be so small.
It's going to be.
Oh, it'd be a bung, won't it? That's how they're going to do it.
It's going to be 8 mil pods sold separately, isn't it?
I think it'll be an 8 mil. No, I think it'll be an 8 mil pod with a fucking big bung in it, because there's no way around that.
You're heavily reliant on people knowing what the crack is, though.
But aren't you always? Because because it's so easy to lose sight of how much you know when you. Things that seem bloody obvious are not to other people.
Like TVP says in chat, though, with the 510 on, it might be a decent mod because it can fit a big Atty. If you're a big Atty person, you can fit a 30 mil Atty on. So it might just be a good 200 watt mod for all the messing about, you know.
Yeah. I don't like a central. For me, for that big with a Juul, the central 510. I'm not that happy with it. I think it looks mental. But
yeah, for the likes of us with our little Atties,
you want it off to this one side,
yes,
not in the middle.
This one is good though. This one is exciting. This is interesting for all these nonsense ones. This is just announced this week, the Odin Mini. The Odin Mini. This is another Vapors Cloud, Dovpo, Bogan, Evolve DNA collaboration. So obviously I've showed you the budget Juul 21700. They're now doing a single battery version, and that is the Mini.
Well, I just mentioned Bogan. If you get a chance, anybody watching, nip over to his channel and watch his travel vlog that he posted like last week, where he goes on holiday, when he went to Kangaroo Island, just because that's the Sam we all know from the shows, and it was really nice to see him wandering around.
Yes, I think it looks nice. The Odin Mini. If hopefully they will do a non-evolve one, a budget one again, because that'd be nice price wise. A single regulated 21700 would be.
I don't know. It's simple, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice, and the one I've got is great. So no reason to believe that will not be great.
I like the brushed effect on the metal.
Yes, I know. Yeah, they've done some really nice ones, and it's good. It's a good mod, so there's no reason. The mini should be great. I think it'll be great.
Have you got a price on that?
That'll be 50 quid, 55 quid.
With the Evolve?
No, with the Evolve, it'll be about 90, 100.
Oh, okay.
Which is a thing. But I mean, it depends what you want. You can wait for the budget one. It depends if you want all the e-scribe and all that nonsense, you know.
Yeah. Got it.
UL are back in the game. This is the right. Let me just double check the pronunciation.
This looks exactly like something else that's already been out.
This is the UL.
It looks exactly like a sex toy.
It's a little mini surfboard of a vape.
No, that's been done. I remember seeing the
yes, no, I've had one. Joytech did one exactly the same shape as that.
Did it have like a leopard print one and stuff?
Yeah,
that's the one.
This is the UL Zumwalt pod system. Now they're saying they're kind of calling it a Caliburn V2, which is an interesting thing to say. Obviously, they're not allowed. They don't want to call it a Caliburn because the Caliburn has actually been banned in America. Kind of. It was the example product the FDA used about implementing their new rule about concealable e-cigarettes. So it's kind of been blacklisted.
Are you fucking kidding? When
you
can
Juul?
buy a Juul?
Yeah. Juul wasn't listed.
That's ridiculous.
You can smoke your USB stick, but you can't smoke your.
They listed a few.
Toy.
They listed a few. It's not official, but people aren't stocking Caliburns in America because of it, basically. So they don't want to call it that. Now, the only thing I will say about this, the Zumwalt, is if it is a Caliburn V2 in disguise, different shape, whatever, less easy to hide, less conspicuous to get around the rules or whatever, the one thing I will say is it will probably use similar or the same coil heads, which were superb. If you do like that style of vape, you will knock it out of the park with the coil heads. So it will be a cracking pod vape if it's Caliburn-esque, but it's just another pod mod. From our British eyes, it's just another fucking little pod system, isn't it?
Isn't it unbelievable though that you can take out that and not take out Juul? Like the most prolific vaping device in the US. It's
Which courier wear brown and they have the American style vans?
UPS.
UPS.
Yeah, they rocked up at my door the other day with that pod system, but they wanted 55 quid for the import.
Fuck,
Yeah,
UPS.
they charge that. They can. My UPS driver, he wants to check before he let you have it.
Yes.
And you said no, I was doing it.
No, yeah, I said no.
That's how Revolve send their stuff.
Mine want cash. My guy wants cash only.
And you said no.
Yeah, I said no because I knew what it was and I didn't agree to review it. And although I will say you are brilliant at paying you back, I just couldn't be arsed with it,
Yeah,
the whole rigmarole of it. And then I pay that and then you all give it me back and then I feel obligated to make a video because they've had to give me 55 quid just because they don't know how to fill out the forms. So yes, that's the thing. I think that was the last one. Yes, that was the last one. So that isn't the new stuff. Now, I just want to, at this point, say, I've shown you about 7 things, 8 things. I could have showed you 15 things. China is back. China is back in action. There's been about 15 product releases this week. I'll show you some more next week. And they're back. There's a lot of new stuff. We've also just done a video for this on the channel as well. This is the little what was it called?
Oh, we saw that.
It's the Vaporesso Extra, and it's a little cute little pod thing. Now, China are definitely back in action, but I'm just worried about how much personal strain they're putting on themselves because all this new stuff, with the exception of the Dead Rabbit, Hell Vape, always on point. With the exception of the Dead Rabbit, everything I've been sent since lockdown has had something niggly annoying that they wouldn't have normally messed up before. So this one, the pod rattles inside the thing, and it drives you mad, and it really spoils it.
Check out quality control issue.
I'm just worried because they've explained to us how China work, haven't they? And the massive every Chinese New Year when everyone comes back is a massive changeover of staff, isn't there? 60% of ground workers are new people. I don't know if there's a QC issue. I don't know, but all the things I've been sent have had a little niggly thing that they'd never usually mess up.
Rushing them out. They're not prototyping them properly, are they? There's obviously some shrinkage on the moulding from the plastic. They just sent the drawings and said make that, and hopefully it will come out that side after it's been injection moulded, and it hasn't. It's shrunk a little bit.
Yeah, I agree, and it could also be a case of just the reviewers' ones are crap. They may have done a small batch just to get to reviewers quick.
Possible.
And the real one, so you might see reviews like mine saying, "Oh, it rattles, it's annoying," and then in about 2 months' time, that video will have loads of comments on saying, "Mine's fine. What are you talking about?" Because when people actually buy them, the production one that was mass produced, they might be fine. So I don't know. Puts me in an awkward position really. But QC has been weird on a few things. What was the other thing I reviewed this week? Oh, it was this. It was this Marsupod, which is a tiny little vape. But this is so plastic fantastic, and I thought it was going to be a 2-in-1 job, like a big mod that you can turn into a little mod, but you can't vape it like this. It's so rattly.
Yeah, it sounds like the inside of an American com.
Yeah, it's got a really naffness to it. The
naff bit for me was you bringing it, when it was up, I thought, oh, you can vape it, and then on the review when I was like, oh no, that's fair enough.
Yeah, to charge it has to go in, it has to go down.
That's so weird.
So it's kind of not pass throughable. I mean, this in of itself is not bad at all. It's a quality little. You wouldn't have thought you'd got a vape like that off something as insanely small as this, like 5 years ago. But this just lets it down. I mean, look at the size of it as well. I did sort of say all this in review, but it's the size of an 18650. This kit that would easily go in there. Yeah, it's 900 mAh. This. If they'd have put this in, it'd be 2,800 mAh. Why? So everything I've sort of been receiving in lockdown time, apart from the cog, which I'll talk about next week, and the dead rabbit.
Some
It's been a bit funky.
Whoa. Matt English in chat. What's the Cuz Steve mod?
I don't know. Because Steve's in chat, I think. He can tell us.
Tell us about it. We'll read it. We'll do it. Like auto cue, Cuz.
Oh,
I don't know what it is. Sorry.
I have no clue. I have got the cog now, by the way. This is the rainbow one. The cog mouth to lung RDA by Matt Cully and Watofo. Can I show it neatly? So it's all quite see-through. The cog bit, for those wondering, I've just cleaned it all up actually because I'm going to do the thing. But so the cog bit now, this is going to be virtually impossible to see on here. But can you see all the red bits inside?
Yeah.
Here. So the bottom is see-through. It's got loads of red bits, and as you turn the airflow, those red bits all move and shift position.
Oh, I quite like that.
Like a cog,
Oh.
and that is what's changing the airflow going through. It's
It
creating...
looks like the backside of a automatic watch.
Exactly what... It's very watch-esque.
Mm.
So that's a very clever way of doing the airflow, Matt Cully, you silly sausage. So quite impressed with that, but I still need to do more builds and more time and all that sort of stuff. The other thing, it's got that sort of high-endy bell cappy look to it. It does, there was a concern, but it really does have top fill. So although it's got that bell cappy look, they have managed to do top fill on it, which is nice. And it's Watofo, and Watofo make good tanks historically, so there's a lot to be interested in with this mouth to lung RTA. But I'm so far away from telling you whether it's good or not. I mean, I'm so much to do with that yet. But I thought it's interesting, and all the way through we were seeing the product pictures. We were a bit curious as to what the cog thing was and how it all. So that's what that is. So that is.
Looking forward to a proper shot of you turning that in 4K.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I'm looking forward to explaining it as well. It was a bit of a head fuck at first. Do we need to interject with some nonsense, or should we go straight into Mod Showcase?
There's only a little bit. This is the first mod showcase we've had in months.
Do the other bit, and I can go and get a beer.
All right.
Okay, I was only going to say, cuts, Mr. Steve. We'll feature you properly next week. I've now got a picture of your mod. We've already been talking about.
I have no idea what anyone's on about here.
Oh, it was okay.
Have I missed the boat?
No, Steve's made a 3D printed mod, which would be on a mod showcase. But we haven't done one for months, but we're doing one tonight. But
we're doing a mod showcase tonight,
and we'll feature and we'll show the mod next week as well. Definitely. I've got one pick of it now.
Ever has anything they want talking about in the show, send me a PM.
Yeah, just talk to us.
Yeah,
we'll
it's not. No need to be bashful or whatever.
We might not do it
under a bushel.
It might be shit, but Steve's is good. We just need a picture of it.
If it's shit, we probably should.
We'll definitely show it if it's shit. We might show it if it's good. So that is that. Now, in honour of Rick being here, and because this is one of the best groups in Facebook, Mod Showcase group, because you're just scrolling along and it's people complaining about Tony Blair or complaining about their wife, and then suddenly you're scrolling down and there's this picture of this stunning one-of-a-kind Stabwood mod. And it just cheers you up a little bit. The Mod Showcase group is just ace. But it seems to, in lockdown, have had a resurgence.
I think there are a few more people modding it now they're locked down.
Yes.
There's been some old names popping out of the woodwork, and it's actually picked up a little bit of business. So I think
people are stuck at home and they'd rather be in the shed than in the house.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gary Dibley's back with the drip tips as well. Someone should mention that.
Oh yeah, he's making some for charity, isn't he?
You donated some.
Yeah, I saw he was doing that thing for charity, and I messaged him and said, "I'm sending you some blanks tomorrow." And no, you don't have to do that or want to.
Yeah, and Gary has. I've noticed Gary's putting it on his profile, but he's more than welcome to put it in the group, whatever he's up to as well, if he hasn't already. Yeah, mod showcase. Okay, so we've got a few, and I'll just say the names of the person and then the picture. And
I'm going to guess what they are because I can't see them.
Have you got Facebook chat?
Yeah, the trouble is, if I use another window, it slows the.
Oh, it messes it up.
It messes up this window. Yeah, I keep having to close it.
What if you put Facebook up on your phone?
Good idea. Let's do that.
Right. This first one, you will know these people, Rick. Some of them I do recognise, some of them I don't. The first one is from Buddy.
Let's have a look. So we're in chat, are we?
Yeah, in chat I put the 5 pics up a few messages ago.
Oh, that's pretty.
Buddy, it's an orangey wood situation. It's got a little DNA size window screen, and it's even got a matching wooden button.
It looks like a wooden tube as well.
The orange one.
Yes.
Yeah, it's tasty, isn't it? Very tasty. Yeah, I don't know.
Is he a regular?
No, I think he's quite a new member actually.
I like it.
It's a nice little.
It's unique, isn't it? It's nice, and I like. A few people are doing this with battery tubes. They're sort of turning a very thin piece of wood. I presume that's what they're doing to put the tube inside. It's an interesting little touch.
It even looks like the actual wood it's sat on the actual wood, like you got a big block. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, it does, doesn't it? Yeah.
It's a burr, isn't it, or something?
Yeah, they're all these little squiggly liney things are burls.
Yeah, it looks gorgeous. I think that's really pretty.
That's really nice.
That sticks out of a tree that looks like it's a bit diseased and it's growing weird bits on it. That's the burl.
Oh, it started raining. I'm going to get wanged on.
Wanged on?
Close the sunroof a bit.
Luckily you wore trousers today.
But they didn't see because they were looking at a sexy mod. The next one, now, I'm going to butcher this. So I'll have it's Ger van der Hoot. And this one is stunning.
Is it a side? Are we looking at the side firing Joomla one?
Yes, yes, with the catch cup type.
Yeah, we recessed in there.
Again, I don't know if he's regular, but that is.
No, I don't recognise the name.
That's
another new one.
Stunning, though, isn't it? I mean, that'll be comfy. As a fun firer, that will be.
Yeah. That man spent a long time polishing.
Yeah, I was going to say the polish on it is incredible.
I really like the buttons around matching the tube and battery tube, and
you just know that's going to be the perfect little fun fire. It's got the groove there that goes right round, so you can have almost different positions if you wanted. It's going to be handy. It's going to be nice to hold, isn't it?
It'd be a crime to do anything other than mouth to lung with a really sexy Atty on, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's good. I like that very much.
The next one is Herbie. Obviously a familiar name, but he's absolutely next level now, isn't he? Herbie.
He really is. Yeah, he's really come on so far quite quickly as well. He's got these shapes going on now that look uniform, but it's just nice. I really like this mod. I think I might have one of these coming, actually.
He's pretty much perfected his craft at this point, isn't he? He's in the top tier now.
He is, yeah. I think he is. He's there now. He's high end now.
That's it looks really small as well, this, judging by the screen size.
Well, it will literally be the size of a tube, just about.
Right.
Which is about 80 millimeters high.
Has Herbie got? What's his Facebook thing then? Where does he put these? Infiniome, that's it. Infiniome. If anyone's intrigued by that, check out Infiniome.
Yeah, he's definitely on top form now.
What do you think, John?
I think it's really pretty.
It is really.
It's been a few times he's been out like crazy, Herbie, but that I like.
You need that bit of crazy though, because it shows that he's actually trying uniqueness, and then when he smashes it like that, he's on it.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it's great. Herbie's smashing it. The next one is Stuart Carl Liggin. This is the L-shape one.
I think
I've seen this. Yeah,
he's sailed close to the wind and avoided making it look like a toilet, because that's the problem with an L-shape. Sometimes is you can make it look like a bog. But I think, do you know what? That's my favourite of the four.
I I like it's like one of the classic ones you used to show, Rick, where it's clearly been made by a person. It's not uniform, it's not machiney, it's not mass produced. It's a proper modder's mod in it.
Yeah. Yes, I'd say that. Yeah, it's fair to say that.
Yeah, I like that brass plate on the front. Like you can see, like that, like it's somebody who's going to get better and better.
He's come a long way in quite a short time, really, and he's making some lovely stuff. But that could be refined.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I like it.
He'll already know exactly what he would have done.
It could be smaller. You know, it could be some refinements made, and he could double his asking price for it.
Yeah.
It's those little things that make
massive difference.
Massive difference. Yeah, we know that every little thing you can do.
If you look at because we're in a very privileged position where, I've seen Scott's Bonnet's first mods or first few mods. He was never bad, but and now where he is now, and they're incredible. And the same with Mike, never ever bad, always great, and now just untouchable. Like they're incredible.
Yeah, it's nice to see. It's nice though because we show that one 9 months later. We'll show another one, and it'll be out there, won't it?
Comparison. It was only 2 years ago that this was a mod that Herbie sent me.
Yeah.
He did loads of engraving stuff for ages, didn't he?
Yeah, well, etching. Yeah,
Etching,
that's it. That's like 2 years, and he's making probably.
Yeah, it's one of those things where
possibly the nicest mods in the UK that are coming out at the moment.
The more you do it, the better you get at it, and he's definitely starting off with the right sort of level.
Yeah,
definitely.
It's
nice for him. No, it's just a nice mod for him to have that he's done himself. I couldn't do that. That's cool. So the
his grass could do with a watering then.
oh God, yeah. Blimey, maybe he's in the desert.
I think it looks like a rabbit hutch because there's a rabbit dropping there. No.
Oh well, he's in nature, isn't he? He's in nature. That's part of the picture.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. His product photography work. I mean, drop me a message, Stuart Carl Liggin. I mean, I'm not bragging, but I can help you out. Last one. Tim Lees did this one. The Callan.
Yeah, good old Tim. He's making some nice stuff now.
Nice to see a
like
squonker
it's
after
for
all
sale. It's so good.
I'm sure it is. It's one of these Juma jobs. Is Juma?
Yeah, Joomla.
Joomla.
I don't know.
But it's pretty. It's squonky. Nice to see a squonker. I'm glad someone's still doing squonkers.
It's good. It looks high end and it's made in the shed. You know.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
it takes time to make that. It's not. I don't know what machinery he's got, but I wouldn't have thought he was loaded with machinery. And he's made something that's pretty much perfect what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I love the button.
Yeah, lovely.
Yeah.
I think it's not my like it. I wouldn't buy one, but I like it's exactly what you'd want if that's what you wanted. Does that make any sense?
Yes, 100%. 100%, definitely.
Yeah.
If you're a mech squonk, you're gonna go crazy with that.
Very nice.
So
indeed.
beautiful mods, and if you get a chance, Rick, put the mod showcase link in chat.
Will do. I'll do that when we finish.
So yeah, it's a beautiful group, and now things seem to be going on. That pictures seem to be going on regular on there again now, which is nice. So I'll keep showing those when we can. Ideally when Rick's on.
I'll send you the whistle audio if you like.
Oh yeah, do. I bet people are just singing that in their head.
I missed that.
I whistled it for you. Jesus Christ, they did it live.
So that brings us on to our last thing. Obviously in chat, if anyone wants to ask Rick a question, we may or may not read it out, but feel free to comment a question down below, because we're going to do a feature that used to be in The Sun called White Van Man. We're going to do White Van Rick.
White Van Rick. What did we decide it was going to be called before the show?
Rick Van
That's
Winkle.
ridiculous.
Ridiculous will do.
Generic question.
Yeah.
Generic
questions.
questions.
Yeah.
So, are you asking you general questions from the world, and we just want your honest answer, Rick, because
I'll be honest,
you're a man
I
of the
don't
world.
know any other way.
You're a straight shooter. You're
Oh, yeah.
salt of the earth, middle England,
Yeah,
and that's exactly what we're looking for.
you got it.
John,
Yes.
what do you want to ask the first question?
I will ask the first question. So, Rick, what do you think of the UK? I will say I deserve a fucking award for not mentioning COVID in the fucking news.
We've done an hour without COVID.
Oh,
We
thank
go.
God.
We're into it now. Right. First question. What do you think of the UK going past Italy in terms of deaths from COVID?
I don't think we've got all the data to do proper comparisons as yet. I don't have a problem with the death toll. It's how it's. Well, no, I don't think our government have handled it terribly. I don't think it could have done much better. There's a few things that are glaringly obvious to me before when the lockdown first started. Is they were still letting idiots get on the London Underground. They should have shut the Underground straight away.
They should have gone lockdown earlier. Definitely. It should have been 2
Yeah,
weeks.
hindsight though, John, isn't it? Hindsight's a beautiful thing, but you know, you can.
Jobs missed the target last 5 days in a row. He's missed it.
It's a self-imposed target, though, isn't it?
I know. I didn't impose it. He did.
What do I think about us going past Italy? I don't know. Have we've got more higher population than Italy?
We have got a large population. We haven't quite creeped past the per capita number of Italy.
Yeah, that's the
and
thing to
and not
look at.
only that, then I will say we do. They're not. They haven't included deaths outside of hospitals in Italy yet. In their figures.
Yes.
So I don't think we're going to fare too badly. I think we're all going to I think everyone.
We are. Just to say, we're still faring badly. We're 560 today. We're still faring badly.
I think, barring the Americans, everybody's pretty much handling it well as you can handle a pandemic. You know.
Yeah.
End of the day, it's going to be a percentage game, not a number game. It's a percentage of population.
We're still not doing brilliantly well.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's going to be
we're not doing
doing
brilliantly
well, and anybody's going to be doing badly, except the Americans. They'll do badly, but we're all going to be on par, the same. If people see each other, they're going to spread the thing. You know, that's it's not all down. You can't blame the government for knobheads in this country going and having barbecues and parties in parks.
Absolutely, not blaming them for that.
I think they could be stricter.
You can, and you can hold the government to account, regardless of
It's a
what
deliberate
you think
strategy, though,
You
wasn't
can,
it?
but blaming people is just a culture.
Oh, I definitely explain. I definitely blame Matt Hancock. He is definitely a bellend who wasn't trying to get that job because no one fucking wanted it. So he didn't want that job, and
But
he's shit at it.
You can't blame a politician for people's attitudes and.
I cannot. I can't blame him for it. But then, if I went in Woolworths, that's shut now. If I went in Tesco's and the cashier was a dickhead, I wouldn't blame Tesco's for the cashier being a dickhead. The cashier is a dickhead, and maybe Tesco's are a dickhead.
Yeah.
Matt Handjob is a dickhead, and he's bad at his job, but he didn't expect to have it. So, sorry, that's just me.
That's
I
I think it's very easy to just look for blame, and I really am uncomfortable with the American angle on it. I'm really uncomfortable that their culture looks for blame and compensation.
Definitely, I think they're out on their own. They're insane.
There's natural forces at work here. Whether it's done in a lab or not, who knows? They make up bullshit anyway.
It definitely wasn't. Definitely moving away from that. We've checked. The Italians have checked. The French have checked. Everybody checked. It did not.
But they're going to blame China.
No, because we sequenced the DNA, and everybody else did as well. It did not. They're nearly sure. What did it come from?
But they're trying to brainwash. I feel the American administration are trying to brainwash their own people to turn against Chinese. And I've definitely seen an attitude with some American people where they're anti-China.
They can't even win now because it's down, because they've got an election coming up. There was a piece in the news yesterday. Trump's gone anti-China, but so has, who's the Democrat?
The old man.
Biden.
They're all old.
Is Biden?
Biden.
Not Biden. Oh,
Biden.
Biden.
Biden's
Yeah.
the Democrat
Yeah,
candidate.
Biden. So Biden's come out anti-China. He made an anti-Chinese statement yesterday as well, because it's now become a political point in the upcoming election.
I just don't like the looking for blame. I mean, what do they
No, I
actually?
agree.
No, honestly, I know America is this and America is that, but have they got? They're not that big a country compared to someone like China. Do they actually think putting embargoes and taxes on Chinese imports is going to hurt China?
No, it hurt them. It hurt them. They know they pay.
The businesses buying the stuff from China, they're paying the taxes. So I don't think he's got a clue how import and export works.
It costs them billions. Those embargoes cost those tax things cost them billions.
Why do they think it hurts China?
They think that it pushes their buying price up, therefore making it more justifiable to buy from somewhere else.
But it's never going to be justifiable when it's so much more expensive to produce something somewhere else.
I know, but
you
if they
can't
get the
push it
level
up high enough.
I know that's
tax.
They'd have to put a 200% tax on it to make it an American-made alternative.
I know, but that's the base logic behind.
I remember I saw a thing today. Somebody said, when this is all over, remember to buy local. With fine if you're not being scalped. Around here, we just get scalped by cunts. And the other thing was buy British. But buy British what? What the fuck do you think industry is here now? I mean, what? Buy what?
It would be good if we get some back here. I mean,
true, but there's also things that have gone. They're not fixable. They're not fixable in 6 months. I'm not going to fucking have British stick.
They're fixable with the right legislation. You know, UK business has been fucked about for years. I'm going to get on to Brexit.
It's all right.
We've been fucked about by regulations. I mean, if you look back to the Second World War, for instance, Germany, they dropped all their regulations and manufactured so much stuff and really pulled their economy out of the gutter. We need to do the same, really. If we want to manufacture things here, they've got to cut the red tape and let us get on with it. You know.
Yeah.
I'm off to the loo, John. You'll have to ask the next question.
Oh my god! Oh, you fucker. Okay, next question. You ready, Rick?
Yeah.
They're all argumentative stuff. Rick? What do you think of nudism?
Of what?
What do you think of nudism?
As in
naturism?
As in being naked?
It's not my cup of tea. Got to be honest.
Rocking out with your cock out.
Yeah, I don't really like the idea of getting, of going on beach. I've seen nudist beaches and stuff before.
Have you clammed up with your clam out?
I wouldn't really want to expose myself like that to other people and put them.
That's okay, but it's just, what do you think of it generally? What do you think?
Yeah, I don't give a shit. Each to their own. If you want to get your knob out, it's fine. I'm not bothered. I don't really want to look at it, but.
It's always the same.
Quite liberating. I can see why it's liberating to wander around with no clothes on. It's quite nature, isn't it? I mean,
it's quite big and weird. People don't like. It's quite weirdly talking about Germany. It's quite big in Germany.
I don't have a problem at all with people who want to do that. I don't mind.
I have a good John and Ori story. We went. There's a place called the Eifel region, which is south central Germany. And Eifel is a volcanic lake. So it's not hot, but it's not freezing cold. And we went there on holiday when I was about 16. And my dad, we didn't want to jump in. I was too cool. I was still sort of Kevin, the teenager. Oh, I don't want to go in the lake. But my dad was there. My dad said, "Well, I want to jump in." And so he jumped in, and he said, "Oh, I want to swim over there." So he swam off. And we were stood there waiting for him. I was going like, "Oh my god, I can't believe he jumped in the lake." My dad kind of went for a swim, and he swam off, and he swam around the corner, and then he swam back, and he got out of the water. He nearly died because it was about. He wasn't amazingly fit, but it was about a kilometre he'd swum. The Eiffel was about 100 feet deep, so he couldn't put his feet down to have a rest. And when he turned that corner, there was a nude beach around the corner, so he couldn't get out. So he had to come back, and he was like, he just nearly died. He nearly drowned because of nudists.
I'm sure they wouldn't have minded.
He really didn't want to get out of the water. He's really British, my dad. Just like, oh no, I mean, whatever you want, but I don't want to do it.
Yeah, I've got absolutely no problem with anybody doing anything that they like. They're not hurting anyone. They want to get naked, get naked. Fine.
I got one for you out of chat here from Christopher Morrow. Where is the dodgiest place you went to graffiti, like a train yard, etc., etc.?
Oh, okay.
Make sure it's
Good
outside
one.
of a zone you could be arrested for. So we're now talking
Yes.
No, well, I've been arrested, so it don't matter.
No,
What's the statute of limitations on
it's not that
graffiti?
long, actually. No, it's not that long. Graffiti. It's fine. You'll be covered.
I've got numerous tales of graffiti getting. I once got chased away from a trackside in Sevenoaks. It was a bus service, so we knew we could do the tunnels between Tunbridge and Sevenoaks. So we went to Highbrooms we went to Hildenborough on the bus, and we went up the trackside and we were painting the bridge, and the Orient Express stopped and the driver jumped out and chased us across the field. Got caught by the police up at Grove Park Yard. There's sidings up at Grove Park, for Lewisham. Got caught there. A guy in the garden came out of a pitchfork.
Oh wow!
Stopped us jumping up
Okay,
because we
nice.
were running away from the old bill, and they caught us. But they let us go because we just said, "Oh, we were on our way to go and do something," and they let us go. That was quite good. But then we got mugged when we got back into Grove Park. I got mugged loads of times as a youngster up round Covent Garden and Westbourne Park and Westbourne Park and Ladbroke Grove were the worst places to go for a young white graffiti writer.
I only got mugged.
London back then.
I got mugged once.
I've been mugged a few
A
times.
subway in Milton Keynes, and weirdly, I was listening to an excerpt from Limmy, the Scottish comedian. I was listening to his new book, and he only got mugged once. It was on Milton Keynes train station, and I got mugged 100 yards away from Milton Keynes train station.
You know, we got used to it. We just used to keep our money. We used to keep a couple of quid in your pockets of a donation mugging,
Yeah,
and keep your notes in your sock.
I was really lucky. I got mugged.
Donation mugging.
Me and my mate got mugged by like 3 or 4 thickos. I remember this is really fucking 90s story. But I had a pager in the 90s because cool.
Because
You
you are
page
so
each
cool.
other.
That's very cool.
What are you doing? And I had a pager.
Why did you give up your medical consultancy?
I just don't want to be on call all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I had a pager, and the muggers wanted my pager, and I held it out. And that lead mugger, who was the little shitty skivvy one, he went to take it off me, and I said, "I don't even care. You can have it. How fast can you run?" And he said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, it's trackable. They'll be here in 10 minutes." And then he said, "Fuck you!" and then shoved me, and then that was it. That was my mugging done. You can't track a pager. They're receivers.
But no, that's about as dodgy as it. I'm not going to say the dodgiest one because it's a bit bad, so I'm not going to.
You're going to have to divulge that in.
You're gonna have to let us know.
I've told you privately who I got arrested with one time.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
I don't really want to.
No, don't do that.
Yeah, that's a can
Okay.
That's a can of worms.
That's a wicked one.
Okay, next question. This is the nudism one was a real question asked in the Sun 2003. So that's why that one's there. What
for it.
do you think Boris will say on Sunday? Apparently, he's doing a big speech on Sunday, announcing some slight relief to the lockdown.
No, I think the media are being very unhelpful about this. I think the media are whipping up the public, and I'm sorry to say, but half the public is dumb enough to think they're going to ease up these restrictions.
More than half. Way more than half.
But I saw the news this morning, and the media were saying, "Can you be clear about what's going to be said?" Because there's people who are unsure. No, you're making them unsure. The media are making them unsure. We can't go out. We can't socialise yet.
No, not
Or we
France.
probably going to be, until there's a vaccine, we're probably not going to be able to do anything like we used to do until there is one.
Okay.
Or we're just going to see much more death than we've got now. I mean, the spike. It could if we suddenly all start doing exactly what we did before, it's going to go up. It's not going to change. The virus hasn't changed. It'll just peak again.
Yeah. Okay.
Keep going if we don't stop again. So
I don't think we're up for much for change this Sunday.
I think we need to stay, and I think they're going to say
It's
we've got to
something
pretty much
like-
stay how we are. I think there comes a point where you have to self-regulate yourself more.
They might you might say that you can go and see non-high risk family members.
Yeah, they could, but you know what? I go and see my dad every week. I don't go to. I'm distance myself from him.
Yeah,
and I think lots of people are doing that now.
You can do that, Rick. But
I don't see why a family member, even if they've got COVID or anything, can't come round and distance themselves in your back garden. I don't see a problem with that.
Yeah, you can do that. That has always been the way. You can do that.
Yeah, there comes a point where you do what you think's right, and it doesn't matter what they say. Do you know?
I could really do with. There was a thing today in the paper which really just made me laugh. It said, "Please, this weekend, don't go to the seaside." People are literally taking that verbatim. So our little sleepy village, as my darling wife said today, which I said a few weeks ago, but she said to me today, she said, "If you live in a shithole, that's your fucking fault. Buy a house in somewhere that's not a shithole, and then you won't have to come to our nice place." And I kind of go, and I'm like, yeah, I sort of agree. Because like last Saturday, people are coming to exercise 30 miles away from their own home with their new hiking boots, with their walking poles, and you think, do fuck off. I really don't see why.
I think it's a tough one. There are some people that really need to get out.
Yeah,
I mean, look at anybody.
That's super tricky.
If you haven't, I'm very lucky. We've got a garden with an allotment at the end. You know, we've got some space there to get out of the house. I can't imagine being stuck in a flat.
No. Yeah. But don't forget. But in the same way, it's the situation is exasperated either side of the whole thing. So if you live in a flat, obviously it's exasperated because
I think if there were any restrictions, it should be for specific people like them.
Yeah, but
if you haven't got garden space.
But it's exasperated the other way as well. When you leave your house and there's someone taking a picture of your house from the other side of the road when you're supposed to be on lockdown, and like going, "Oh, actually, I think this was built in 15." Fuck off back to your own house, you fucking knob. Is what you feel like.
It's tricky though, isn't it? It's tricky because but you're allowed to exercise, aren't you? It's not very clear, is it? Really, about the whole.
I don't have a problem with people driving to go and exercise either. They are within a certain radius.
That's the problem. They need to. If you said 10 miles, I think you'd all be clear. I think there's open space within 10 miles of everybody.
And it's actually safer. We go to the park and everyone else is going there. There's more people there. You could go somewhere where there's no one. It's common sense.
We drove 5 miles for a family walk somewhere where we didn't see a single person.
But that's fine.
Surely that's better than driving the same streets.
I totally agree with that, Richard. And you do, everybody does. But the thing is, when put on the spot, Matt Hand-Venus said there is no specific regulation, which is fine. Give people that just tell them, because there are people who are thick as shit, and you need to say to them, come on. 10 miles is enough. If you just go within 10 miles.
I think if you're responsible, you'll do the right thing and form your own rules. You know, I mean, we're social distancing. I've got no problem with driving 20 miles away if I wanted to go somewhere. It's going to be quiet. It makes no difference to anybody if I drive 20 miles with my family and we go for a walk 20 miles away. You know, it doesn't make a difference, does it? It's using common sense and your own judgment, you know.
Go for a walk somewhere. Make sure it's quiet. Don't
exactly. The places not to go are the walking tourist hotspots, aren't they?
Exactly.
Like pretty reservoirs and stuff
but
like
then,
that.
Stay the fuck away from my beach.
But exactly what I was saying. That's the problem. Is this is the issue. If you say to people, if you specifically say don't go to the beach, which is what they did, what you actually do is you change other places into hotspots. The same morons who are going to go down the beach don't go down the beach. They just think we'll go to that sleepy little village, but they don't realise everybody thought the same thing. You know,
I think they should relax the laws. I don't think the police should be stopping people who are sitting on benches from sitting on benches.
Honestly, I think they should do it. I wish they'd done it more from the beginning.
I think that what they should do, they should really come down hard on people who are in groups. Bottom line. If you're sitting on a bench because you're fucking got mental health problems because you've been stuck indoors for 6 weeks.
No, that's fine. Okay. No,
I'm with you. It's like fucking hell. I'm not. There's nobody here. If
No,
something,
that's-
if I am not social distancing, then take me away. You know, that's what I
Yeah,
think.
yeah. But if there's 10 of you,
It's heavily dependent on common sense, isn't it?
Yeah.
And if you're willing to follow the lines, yeah.
Right, I love this one, but I know what you're going to say. Global warming will bring sizzling summers and weird wildlife to Britain. This was in the Telegraph, actually. Are you worried?
No, I'm not. I think we need to reduce our carbon footprint, definitely, and I hope that we draw some positives from this lockdown, because we've got a real chance here of looking at the way we're living and changing the way we live in the future from it.
have you?
I
I've noticed more honeybees definitely this year.
It's clearer skies and everything. I mean, I just think loads of people are working from home. They've learned to get good at working from home. I think there should be more options for people to work at home 4 days of the week and go in the office once a week. You know,
Richard's going, no.
there's an 80.
It'd be fine if the kids were here.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it'd be nice if there was a choice.
Yes,
people
I think
who could
that's
be just as productive at home.
that's already a thing. I know loads of blue chip companies this is proven to them it can work, and they're going to be rolling out home working.
So I'm concerned about global warming. It's a thing, but you know what? I look at us and polluting the world as sort of being all part of nature. You know, we've had Mediterranean climate in the UK before, a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
It fluctuates, you know, it does. But no, we need to do something about carbon footprint. I don't think anything's irreversible. I think we'll survive.
What I like about that question from White Van Man in the Sun, that was asked in 2001.
Wow.
So I don't know if they were wrong with that. Weird wildlife? Have we seen any weird wildlife last 20 years?
I saw something in Cornwall a few years back,
Oh, yeah.
and I thought it was a hummingbird, but it was actually a hummingbird moth.
Oh, wow.
And it blew. Apparently, when we had all that Sahara sand coming over, do you remember?
Yeah.
Apparently, it blew over from Africa. I took a picture of it, and I spoke to a society of.
Really wanted you to say you spook to the moth.
Because it was beautiful. It was a beautiful little. It looked like a hummingbird. This moth. It's like, what the hell is that? Took a picture of it, and I emailed somebody, and they said, "Oh, that's a hummingbird moth. It comes from Africa." I said, "I've just seen one in Cornwall."
We're definitely going to get some. Well,
There was an eagle spotted in southern England somewhere last weekend. Some species of, it's a traditionally an English bird that hasn't been seen in the wild for 240 years.
The birds are loving it. The birds are loving lockdown. Big
They're
time.
just not getting hit by fucking cars.
It's funny.
all the time.
I've driven.
That's literally what it is.
I
You're not
drive
getting
out to
smacked
the
by cars.
country to go to work, and I've seen quite a bit of wildlife walking along the road because there's no one around. You know, when the lockdown was first brought in and nobody was about. You know,
We've got loads more squirrels and there's loads more honeybees. Honestly, I've never seen. Everybody gets fucking wasps, but there's been honeybees all over the place in the garden this year because it's that weird thing where when you got to go like that, and then you go, oh, it's a honeybee. I do. Or if it's fuck off, it's a wasp. I'm not interested.
well, I've got right outside my garage here. I've got this bush overhanging with these little berries on it, and it is alive with bees all the time. It's just the whole thing is vibrating. There's like hundreds of bees in there. They're no problem. You can stand right next to them and under there, and they never.
So we used to have a honeysuckle in our garden in London, and all summer it was always buzzing with bees.
They're no problem, are they? They're busy.
Well,
They're
they're vital
The
to our
English bees
existence.
are so docile.
Yeah.
Black Mirror.
I mean, I think this is going to make a difference, and I do think. Me and Richard talked about this a few weeks ago, and I was wondering how fast it would start affecting weather. But I now think the weather is affected almost immediately.
Very difficult to say.
It's strange, isn't it? It's really strange how the weather got so good, so quick, so fast.
Think of the lack of it. The air pollution's down 75%. That's it.
There's all those pictures of people that haven't been able to see France for 20 years, and they can see France.
Yeah,
and...
Eddie took a picture, didn't he? And you could see it clear as day. I've never seen France.
I can see France from where the fuck is my front door? Nowhere. 3 blocks in that direction
Yeah,
is the beach, and I can now see France from the beach.
that's 25 miles away, isn't it? Or 23 miles away.
I think it's like 11 miles or something silly.
Oh, is that all it is? I know it's more.
Yeah,
do you think we'll
we're the
learn
nearest
something
point
from
to
it?
France or something.
Do you think we're going to learn? I don't think we will.
I really wish we could draw some good from this. We've shown what we can do if we have to do it.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't know.
Let's get on and do something about.
Do you imagine if we could
I think
reduce?
spending habits will change.
I'd like to see NHS habits change. I'd like to see people not going to the doctor when there's nothing wrong with them.
Well,
That's a bit much to ask.
people are they are, but
it would be good if they. I think it's a really good idea that you call the doctor before you go to the surgery. I mean, I've always
that
thought
should be a thing.
It should be a thing. It should be a thing that we carry on doing. Because
Almost like paralegal.
you got a cold, go and get some paracetamol.
If you look at, like, statistically speaking, I'm going to bore as shit, but if you look at the figures, if you look at the population growth in the town and the amount of surgeries and how difficult it is to get an appointment now, and you think it's because lots of idiots have been taught as immigrants and da-da-da. It's not.
It's not.
It's because of fucking morons. It's the same bellends in there every fucking day.
Right, last question, John.
The last question is, it's about David. It's surrounded David Blunkett, which I know is one of your more favoured subjects. What do you make of David Blunkett accusing gangster rappers of making kids believe guns are cool?
I don't think. I don't think it's rappers that make kids think guns are all right.
How old is that question, Richard?
2001.
I think guns are inbred into American society. I mean, there would be no gangster rappers carrying guns if there weren't any guns.
Yeah,
You know?
and there were no gangster rappers in the Wild West.
And we all think it. We were, when we were kids, we thought it was cool to have a cap gun, and it's cool to have a gun, isn't it? They just haven't grown out of it.
Weirdly, I used to shoot in competitions, and I used to have air rifles, high-powered air rifles in the house till I met my lovely wife, and then the reason I stopped was because a friend of mine said to me, because I always thought, oh well, licensed people who know what they're doing don't give a shit. They're fine. They're perfectly safe. And they said, yeah, they're not. If you look at the statistically speaking, 1 in every 2 is perfectly licensed and they're mental. And I went, oh, nah, fair enough.
Well, Mum and Dad used to shoot when I was a kid. They had Colt 45s. Used to go shooting. And I found this is a true story. Rick and Ori.
Go for it.
I found a live 45 round, and being a bit stupid and young, I thought it was an indoor firework.
Oh, right.
So I'm out the back with this live round, and I found some matches. I was trying to light this indoor firework,
Jesus.
and luckily it didn't go off. But it was a live 45 round.
I can do as good as that.
Go on, then.
My dad at school swapped a marble for a Lee Enfield anti-aircraft machine gun because my dad's marble was like a 50er.
A 50er?
Yeah, and the kid in his class really wanted it, and so he had this. No, I can't. It must have been a 303. I think my dad's memory is funny. Anyway, they didn't know how to load the ammo, so what they did, my uncle held the round down with a pair of fire tongs, and my dad was hitting the back of them with a ball-peen hammer and fired them through the shed when my granddad got home.
Fucking hell.
But they were only an inch off the ground, so they were going straight through the shed. Thank fuck for that. If it had put a brick underneath it, it'd have gone about half a mile. But
The
no.
good old days where you could get your hands on explosives and stuff. But the kid, we had a good childhood blowing things up. It's fun.
French bangers. That was
when
my
someone
show.
brought some French
Used to
bangers
spend
back.
the old caps that used to come in the plastic reels. They were good. If you spent a whole morning pulling those out, you could make a nice little bomb with them.
We've talked non-vaping stuff for 20 plus minutes, which is
Pretty good.
a thing.
Pretty good.
No.
No.
Last time you were on, Rick, you did semi-tease that you are working on something top secret. Is that still... Has lockdown put a little slowdown on that?
there's a couple of things that it's put a slowdown on the big one, but I'm just about to restart it.
Very cool.
Excellent news.
Okay. Cool.
Because I can. But I've got some new 510s coming. I've got another new thing coming soon that you'll see when it comes.
Is that www.modmaker.co.uk?
Yeah, that's the one.
Keep one eye on Modmaker then, because they're
I mean, it's
still
only
innovating after all this time.
Modding parts, except for one thing.
Except for one special thing.
But the modding part I'm bringing out soon is improved on what's out there already. It's one of those ones that I always, if there's something that can be done to improve something, I like to try and get in there and do it. So and it does improve on one thing that I think everybody will think is better. So
are you not? Do you? I suppose you've got one eye with your stock and what's selling and things as to sort of trends. Are more people getting like the 21-700 tubes than the 1680?
Not particularly. No. They're going out. No, still more people use 8 and 650s. I still prefer them.
Yeah,
I prefer them because I've got them. I've got both, but they're accessible, aren't they? They're easy to get.
And things like 510s. Are you selling more bottom feeding ones or more normal ones?
Less bottom feeding ones now than standard ones. So the trend is moving away from squonking.
Yep.
That's the way. It's always the way, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I just prefer to squonk than a tank. Not that tanks are less flavoursome now. They're not. I mean, the K-Fun is great, but I just prefer to have a nice 8 millilitres of juice, and this will last me nearly all day on one battery and a bottle of juice.
Amateur. I use 2 mil a day. Come on, 50 milligram.
There's no point at that point.
And I'm using 650. One and a bit, I'd say. One and a bit. I can get through a whole day with 1.8 and 650. So why do I want a bigger mod with a bigger battery in it?
Rufus Kane said he got some of your drip tips in the post this morning. Young.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Oh, I hope you like them, Rufus.
Oh, just had Nick news.
Just had Nick news.
We've got Cactus Punch coming soon, and we've got Crack coming soon. And because I'm a greedy fat bastard and I can't eat anymore, every time anybody orders, they're getting Twizzlers in there.
Yes.
Turkey Twizzlers?
No, red licorice Twizzlers. Because I
got his hand on a load of Twizzlers, hasn't he?
Yeah, so I just
Back
put
in the lorry.
I've got my 510s here, the new ones I got yesterday, actually. The only difference is they're black.
Oh.
Shiny.
Ooh.
It's more like
gunmetal.
Well, it's black. It's what is it?
Certain mods.
Black nickel plated. Black nickel plated. So it's stainless steel, but it's black nickel plated.
There's certain mods though where that would be a really nice touch.
Yeah.
I've got one on here actually. Not that it's a nice mod, but I put one on just to see what it's like, and it looks like that.
That's nice.
That's nice. Like that.
I like that. There's
hard to
certain
see-
mods that
it's
would
hard to see
really
how-
benefit from
If
that.
you've got a murdered out mod, that has got to be the thing to do.
Yeah, I mean, I could have got a blacker finish on them, but it wouldn't have been food safe. Apparently, the manufacturers told me. So I went with what was safe.
Very
Safety
good.
comes first.
Good.
Make it quite black.
Very nice. Coming up on the channel, I'll eventually get to show that thing that I'm not allowed to show. That looks like this.
excited.
I don't know. Again, it's a normal-ish thing, but for some reason I'm not allowed to show it. The cog. People will finally get to see the cog in action.
That's
which will
one
be
I'm looking forward to.
Yes, I am as well. And I will send you my spare one, Brad, as well. So we'll get Brad's feedback on that as well.
I will send you hugs and kisses.
Virtual ones.
No, I'm going to put them in an envelope
Alright.
and send them to you.
So there's that. What else? So the thing I'll show, the cog. Oh, and I'm going to properly break down what the SE is all about.
Oh, I would have seen that.
Because it's a cracking RDA. And it's nice to see it given a fresh breath, because it reminded me how good a deck that is.
I'll make my life shit. I'll do a raffle at some point next month.
Ooh. I've got some stuff Oh, I've got some stuff for that raffle.
I'll put some
Don't even
stuff
know
in.
what for.
Obviously, I'll put some stuff in as well.
I don't even know
I'll
what
be
for.
big in a draw.
But I want to make my life more interesting.
Let's
There you
find a nice nurse to donate it to or something. There you
go.
go.
We'll find something good. Oh, by the way, yeah, no, I won't say that. That's me.
Could give it to your wife. She deserves it.
She's cool. She honestly, my darling wife has worked all the way through this as frontline, and I'm heart, and we have to go through a hell of a regime every day when she gets home. The NHS are awesome. I will say just a quick shout out to everybody. There's one thing that's really been pissing me off recently, which is lots of Ohmies in the group have lost people through this thing. Lots of people have been to virtual funerals or real funerals, and honestly, every day the reason I stay in, the reason that I stick to these rules is because people who are stuck inside and people have got to go through stuff like that. Fuck that. Sounds absolutely awful. But there are lots of people out there who are thinking of you. I know it's shit.
Yeah, for sure.
Be a glum end thing. Anyway, poo, bum, cunt.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's fair comment. Thanks very much for watching. Thanks for Rick for stepping up and coming
Thanks
on.
for having me.
Always a pleasure, and we'll see you next week. Thank you for
With
watching.
James. James is back next week.
James is back next week. That's an exclusive. You've spoiled your own thunder.
Okay.
Indeed. Okay, thank you very much for watching. Smash that like button. Don't forget to switch it to live chat so you don't miss anything. And we'll see you next week. Bye bye.